Hello and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I'm going to take you along with me as I plan for our week. I had asked you in shorts the other day if this was something that you would be interested in, and a lot of you said yes. So let's go in and figure out exactly what I'm going to do this week. All right, well, the first thing that I'm gonna need is first to welcome you, or welcome back if this is your first time here. I am a homeschool mom to a fourth grader. We love all things books, homeschool, and sharing our journey with you. And if that is something that you are interested in, I would love if you consider hitting that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. So this is my planner for this year. I went with the School Nest notebook again. I loved it last year, and I'm really enjoying it again this year. Now, the only thing that I have really done is just kind of did a little pretties to it. So I went ahead and just add a little bit of fall colors here, and I highlighted my days of the week over here, and then I put in all of our subjects along the side. One thing I do like to do every time is just kind of put the date over here so that I see quickly exactly the date that we are on, and just in case, I don't know, sometimes like seeing a date, it pops in my head that, oh, we have that certain day. Now, I have been making some notes to myself over the last couple weeks as far as like I want to start history this week, which we actually started a little bit last week, and then I want to start writing this week. A few more things that I was thinking about over the last couple weeks. So as I think of things, I try to add them into this weekly overview or these weekly goals, and that way I can kind of go back and I can think about exactly kind of what I'm wanting to do this week. So I usually have like a focus that I kind of make a note about, like, for example, it's time to start history. We did a very slow start to the school year, so a lot of our electives, we haven't really started yet, and so that is happening this week. We are going to start rolling into that history, that writing curriculum. We're going to get a little bit heavier on our grammar and language arts, and math we are already doing really good on, so that was something that we started from the beginning and we've continued to carry over. Now, in the past, I used to write everything in and then check it off if I did it. This year, I've been using this schedule over here to the side just a little bit more than I ever have before. That way, if I have an idea, like for instance, for history, I know that we are going to be using our core knowledge, which I actually happen to have pulled up here on the screen. So let me just show you. We talked about Columbus last week. We did a little bit of notebooking with that, but we are going to be talking about Ponce de Leon today, or this week, excuse me. We are going to be talking about him. And so I have already prepared a few things. So I start with looking at Teachers Pay Teachers to see if there's anything extra that I can find from that. All of these questions that I have put into her fourth grade notebook have come from the core knowledge curriculum that I'm using, and you can get that for free. The one that I am using is actually, let's see, this is the one that I'm actually using, and it's called Exploration of North America. It actually starts out with both Canada and North America. We just went ahead and started with North America, where again, we talked about Columbus last week. And so what we did is I kind of did this notebooking style with core knowledge. I went in there, I put the questions in there, and then we added a few images. I really liked this. I think that she enjoyed it as well. So that's what we're going to do again. Now I think I will probably hit history twice this week, but I'm only going to go ahead and print off this first one. That way I can always do that a different day. So I found this on Teachers Pay Teachers. It was actually free. I always go on there, kind of click the box, see if I can find anything. And it had just a little bit of an extra information here. It's likely all of the information that's in core knowledge, but what I'm going to have her do, because it came with like a little test, I am going to have her go through and answer these questions And I want her to highlight or underline where she finds that at. So the first thing that I am going to put over here is I don't know what day I'm going to do history. So rather than lock myself into a day of doing history and have to move it around, I'm just going to put right here history, and I'm actually going to go get my little highlighters so that it's pretty, and I am going to put his name down here so that I know this is who we're working on. This is who I am going to be working with first. All right, so I've got my little zebra liners here. I'm just kind of sticking with these fall colors. So I am going to just go ahead and highlight this history here because I think it's cute. And then I have that we are going to be doing that. So I have this already printed off. I went ahead and printed off, I found 3 images that she can kind of notebook with, kind of copy and paste onto this sheet over here into her 4th grade notebook. And this I printed myself, but this off of the Teachers Pay Teachers, I also found this, this was included in this same one right here. So maybe we're going to be doing a read aloud or something like this, and this is something she could kind of work on as just something, a little bit of downtime while I'm doing a read aloud or something, but it still kind of connects with her. And then I will probably have her do a definition that is connected with this. So I believe if I go back to my, and a lot of times I can just share my screen, but today it's just easier to kind of move my camera back and forth. Yes, so right here we have vocabulary a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be working with this expedition vocabulary. And that way, and I think I'll just go ahead and make a little box here with my little brown highlighter that we will put the definition for expedition in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that in there, and that way I remember that I did want to do this vocabulary word to go along with this. So she can write the definition there, we will do the little lesson, and then we will have the little notebooking sheets included in all of that. So I don't have to write any of that in my planner. I just have it all in this 4th grade notebook, again by School Nest, and it's ready to go. All right, there's really not any rhyme or reason into what I'm pulling here. So I know that I want to do spelling a few times this week. So I'm going to first come over here and look to see what we're going to be covering. So we are on step 21, and it looks like I'm doing the sounds of V and U. Now, I have also been tying in my traditional spelling right here, and I hope that I have a lesson that goes with this. Looks like this is A. All right, unfortunately, I didn't really find anything in traditional spelling, the little workbook. It worked perfect last week, but I didn't have anything. So what I did is I went to this, I think, commoncoresheets.com, and you can put in your spelling words and create anything you want, like little word puzzles, just alphabetical order. Then what I did here is where we were working, I pulled all of these words here and all of these. What I've been trying to do is slow down with this just a little bit. And so we're going to be doing this depending on how she does the first few days, because I feel like this is slightly below our level right now, but I want to continue to go. We're almost done with it. So we're going to be starting 3 in just a little while. I think there's like 24 steps, something like that. Let's look really quick. There are 25 steps, and so we are doing step 21 this week. So we will see how long. I may not stay on this one all week, but again, this is something I can kind of give her during like a read aloud time that she could do one of these while I did that. So I do want to spend at least 2 days on this, but I went ahead and printed off 3. So we will do the one where we kind of learn the lesson, and then I have our little printables here and ready to go. So unfortunately, traditional spelling didn't work well as a pairing this week, but it did great last week. So what I'm going to do is I know I want to do spelling 3 times this week. Now I'm going to go ahead and write down, so let's put all about spelling, and I just abbreviate here. I'm going to put this down for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now Thursday is co-op, so our morning is pretty busy. And then sometimes we do come back on the afternoon and do something, but I'm going to leave that open, and I'm going to leave Friday open for the time being. So really, I'm just planning mostly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday right now. Now, history I've put down here, and I'm going to want to hit that one of these days, and it's likely I'm going to hit it tomorrow on Monday because I just think that's the day that I will do that. So spelling, I have prepped and ready to go. I'm not always so ahead of the game on getting my printables, but I'm hoping it'll kind of help the day flow a little bit better. We get more done, but we also kind of get to play and relax and have a lot of fun while I'm not trying to scramble to print some of these things off. All right, something else I know I want to do this week is I have seen quite a bit of stuff on Instagram about a Jivey mentor text. So I want to give this a try. And I think, again, this is going to be a full week thing because I actually found this printable for free. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the sandwich shop. I keep saying the shop, but it's swap. When I was looking for the book, I wrote shop. But I am going to go ahead and write that on here too because I want to start this on Monday. This is something else that would be really easy to do after. Now I'm going to do swamp. I don't know why I have such a hard time with this word. So I'm going to go ahead and write this down on all of these days here because it is a 5-day, and I think it's something that we will have a lot of fun with, and I think we can do that with co-op. So I'm just going to write this in really quick. And so this is my first time using this, but what I understand is we're going to read the book day 1, and we are going to talk about this kind of super sentence and label the things like the verbs and the adjectives, and we're going to point out the commas that are used, things like that. We're also going to dive into the story as far as like the theme, things like that. So this is Mentor Text by Jivey, and this was a free printable that I was able to get through like her Instagram sheet. So I want to try that, and I was unable to get the book, which is The Sandwich Swap, but I was able to find it on YouTube. So we'll be able to listen to the book on Monday, and I need to pull up this little list of things to do so that I know exactly what all we do on Monday. All right, dimensions. I'm just kind of pulling out of all the things that I have back here. Let's see, I know that we are moving on to multiplying by a 2-digit number. Now we have been using dimensions this whole year. It's going really, really good. We have used the subscription service, which also has been going really good. But right now, I'm going to be the one that's teaching her. So I'm just going to look at this. Oh, I think this will be great. I think we will just finish up this chapter 4 this week. So we will do lesson 6. I suspect that we will be able to complete that on Monday, lesson 7 on Tuesday, and then we will split up this practice into 2 days. So that's perfect. We're going to do, I think, 4 days of dimensions this week, and then either co-op, so either Thursday or Friday, one of these days, we will have like either Life of Fred, or we'll do something else, math games, things like that, just to break it up a little bit. But I love that this is going to work out because I do usually like to take a practice day, especially when we're looking at, we've been multiplying 2-digit numbers by a 2-digit number. And I think that would be a really, really great time to take 2 days with this practice. So that is what I'm going to plan on doing. So let's just go ahead and write that down. And because I am very unsure what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and in pencil, I'm going to go ahead and put dimensions practice again down here on Friday. All right, these 2 things, we will be doing our vocabulary workshop. Really, this isn't anything that I need to write down, but I thought I would show you. So we started Unit 3 where she's working with these words, and now she will do this one day, probably this one day. Let's see here, what do I want to do here? I may just assign this all on one day. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we will do this 4 days this week. So I am going to go ahead and jot down vocabulary for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I think I will go ahead and put vocab down on Friday because that is just, she's kind of had a break, and so she gets one more day of looking at those words. And then we will go ahead and do cursive. You know what? I'm really not going to plan this one much further out because we're going to be doing something a little bit different this week, which let's go ahead and talk about that. I want to start with writing. Now, if you followed me in the past, you know that we have been using writing and rhetoric. It's good. I like it, but I think she might need something a little bit different. And so we are going to try, let me pull it up here for you. We are going to be trying write by number. I've seen this just a little bit from Instagram and other YouTubers, but not very much. I can't find a ton of information on this, but it pretty much can last all the way through high school. But you can get a 14-day free trial on this. If you saw some of my notes, you would have known that I'm kind of looking at write by number in IEW. I like the idea and the concept of write by number, so I am going to try that this week, and we're going to do that for probably 3 days this week. So I need to, get that trial ready. And from what I understand it would be something that would be really easy to add in your learning to like your history writing or your science writing or any sort of writing. You kind of learn this one sentence and then you build upon that, and it just seems really, really interesting. So I'm going to try that this week, and so I'm going to go ahead and put this because we are definitely going to start that on Monday. So let's go ahead and write by number right there, because that is something I want to start on Monday. And so we may not actually do cursive because I don't want to just throw in a ton of writing. So I'm going to see what all I have going for Monday before I for sure decide on cursive. And the same thing with this. I want to see what this is going to entail first. All right, over here, just some ideas for our morning time. We don't really call it a morning basket, and sometimes it may not even be the morning time, but I'm just going to write morning time here. It's kind of like the things we're going to do before we really get started. And one of those is I usually have her knock out her independent reading before we get too far into the day. Just get that done and over with. Got to talking and completely misspelled that. We have started reading this again, so I'm going to go ahead and write this down. I really like this one because it adds in like a lot of science. I think it's just really cool. Each day you're kind of learning something. So like this day we were talking about just different animals and how they care for one another. And this little shrew right here has a litter of babies that can fit inside a teaspoon, which I thought was really, really cool. This one over here, we were talking about why our stomach actually grumbles. And so we also talked about onomatopoeias. So you have this little devotional, but then you also have like this learning science sort of thing that goes with it. So we have been enjoying that, and sometimes I have her read all of this to me because I feel like that's a really good thing for her to just continue practicing reading aloud. She reads independently, but that's to herself silently, and as we know that it's a little bit different when you're actually reading aloud, and so this is something good that she can read aloud to me. She reads picture books and things like that to me as well. All right, let's see here. Now, sometimes it's helpful for me to go back and see exactly what we did last week in case I needed to add something on there. It looks like I'm good to go. All right, for history, I'm also going to write down DeSoto because that is the next one. And so I think we will do history twice. I'm wanting to get this exploration going, and then we're going to be starting geography. So I'm hoping like next week we're going to be starting our geography curriculum, and that will be really good for that. So I'll need to do some printing and things like that for this one. So I'll just put a little asterisk here that I need to still do some stuff with that. But that is for history. Now science, We have been using this, and mostly you are just reading out of a DK encyclopedia. So what I've been doing is I have actually been creating like a Google slide presentation with the information that I'm pulling from here and from the DK encyclopedia. There's not a ton in here. It's more like this is giving me like experiment sort of thing that I could do. This, I know we're going to be talking about the rock cycle this week. So just to give you a little example here, here is the rocks and the rock cycle. Normally we're not splitting this out into day 1 or day 2 or 5 days. We are doing it 1 day. I am pulling all the information from the DK First Encyclopedia. I'm creating a Google slide and we go through that together. I usually find a YouTube video to go with that and put that all together, and then we will do probably one of the experiments. So usually there's like a demonstration here or an optional demonstration. I'll pull out whichever one that I feel is the most interesting. Like here's another project, mineral candy, edible rocks. This is probably what we're gonna do, but I need to read through that and get that figured out. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and just write down rock cycle, and that way I know that I need to get this pulled, because this is not going to be a Monday thing. This is more than likely a Thursday, Friday thing. So again, I'm going to take my pencil and I am going to write science with a question mark on Thursday, because I think that might be something fun to do when we get back from co-op. And it will give me a few days to get this prepared also. To build upon this Jive Mentor text, I want to do it as it is, but I also see that they are covering adjectives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Beowulf grammar and I'm going to see what I have on adjectives. And I'm just going to see if there's anything fun to kind of print off here. This is where we kind of stopped at. Let's see. Looks like we're going to be working with a koala. What is the koala talking about? Oh, here we go. Looks like I already have it pulled up. I was already thinking about this the other day. So this is the student book where we are talking about the adjectives, and here's some little adjective worksheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plan on focusing on that a little bit, but I also want to like pull it in with the writing. So this will be really fun. I'm going to go ahead and print this because she's going to fill in the blanks. Once there was a blank tiger, so she's going to use an adjective to describe the tiger. So I'm definitely going to print this sheet right here. I'm really liking this sheet too, so I'm going to 5. All right, so I went ahead and added this where she is putting an adjective in with the writing, and again, this one right here. So I really like that this is kind of included with the writing, so I'm going to add that in with this study since we are talking about adjectives this week. And I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight myself a little section about this, and I can always go back in there and pull more if I need to. All right, so just I'm kind of looking here. I've got this right by numbers going to be done twice. I can go ahead and, let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and finish in my days here because I want to do writing, I think, 3 times this week. We're going to do probably history 2 times. So, all right, so I've got my language arts in there. I've got my dimensions or my math in here. Probably I would like to do, let me look at something. All right, well, I thought of this while I was looking for the other thing, but I have a stack of books somewhere and I'm gonna have to see if I can find them to see if it will have anything to go with my Explore. It's like a handwriting program, but it's also like draw and write out like the paragraph. And I know I have like maybe a Columbus one or something in there that would be fun to add in, but I don't know where that is. Okay, super fast. I did want to show you, these are the books that I was talking about, this Draw Right Now series. So I have Christopher Columbus in here. So it just goes to like a little section. You can see that you like draw something and then write about it. So I could assign a few of these. That would be kind of fun. And then right here, this will be great. Native Americans, North America, the Pilgrims, for the beginning of our history. This is going to be fantastic. So I've got these pulled out, and I will probably start adding these in like once a week, maybe twice, probably just once. But that would be like a fun Friday. I have the whole set here. Well, not the whole set. I think there's like 12 or something of them. But I have, let's see, do I have 8? How many do I have? Yes, I have 8 because this is number 2 and 3. So, yes, that's what this is. These are the books I was talking about. I found them. So I'm going to figure out something. I'm going to have her do one of these, which would be really fun. But I found them, so I had to show them to you. Okay, let's get back. But this I want to do on Friday. I want to do a watercolor together. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and note this down. And this is just a really, really pretty book. And it teaches you how to watercolor. And it has this little section over here with a very, very finely drawn image. And you try to watercolor it the way that it is over here. So if you look over here, we have done these in the past. And let's see here. Right there. So this was the watercolor. This is actually mine. We do it together. So I have one and she has one. And that's just something that would be really fun for us to do together on Friday. So I want to leave Friday probably a little bit like funner things for the most part. And then co-op will throw in a few things after co-op day. But we'll do dimensions. But then the rest, I think we'll kind of keep it pretty relaxed while still doing a lot of our other things. So I kind of want to put the heavy stuff here at the beginning and then kind of slow down towards the end of the week. Now, we don't school 5 days a week every week. Usually every other week we school 5 days a week. So that will be just a little bit different. And as I come up with ideas, I will just jot them over here. But I could have went ahead and wrote all of this out in my weekly, but I would rather wait. And then if I actually get it done, then I write it over here. That way it leaves me wiggle room to move things around. And this just kind of is my brain dump for where everything is going. And then this is what actually occurred. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has, give me a thumbs up and I will see you in my next one. Bye.